activity here on campus, former soccer player, played with Brady Wambach's aunt, Abby. And Wambach now with this 3-goal lead. This is a type of game that he can just seize control of this as the nation's best face-off man. 64% from the Rochester area, student of the game. Quirky like some of the other Fogos, but man, this kid has been dominant.
He has played like a first-team All-American this season. He's 4 for 4 today. Richmond has had trouble just getting into its offense. A lot of turnovers. Wambach now 5 for 5. Absorbs the check from Chinoy.
You know, in such a evenly matched season, and you can make a strong case for Cornell. Like, specialists play in this tournament loom large in my eyes. I thought the ACC was a really good face-off conference this year. Wambach sliced and diced his way through it. The Big Ten, great goalies. Caleb Fyock, you'll see tomorrow against Notre Dame, noon on ESPN2. Attack play, the Ivy League, goal scorers. So it's fascinating when you mix that all and have no idea what to expect.
English to Petramala, who whistles one off the brick wall. Petramala is not gun-shy. He's 1 for 5 shooting, but he had a game against Syracuse this year. Started 0 for 9, ended up scoring 6 goals on 20 shots.
20 shots.
And Joe Bresci told us his message to Dom after he missed the first 9, keep shooting. Petramala behind the back off the Duffy feed. It'll stay with UNC.
He's getting his looks, and that bodes well for Carolina and for Dom. 7 times this year, Dom's got double-digit shots in a game.
Big shot advantage for UNC. Matten over to English, step down. And that one bounces wide. It's going to be Richmond ball, no backup for Carolina. 17 in red, Mitchell Dunham. 3rd nationally in caused turnovers. It was a 3rd-round pick of the Archers in the PLL draft earlier this week.
Yeah, big 17 on the inside. Let's see if Richmond can clear. This has been an area of strength this season. Today, it has been a point of weakness.
This might be another failed clear. It is. They did not get it across before the shot clock hit 60. Quint, Richmond is 3 for 8 clearing. They came into the game at 92%, second nationally behind only VMI.
And now they'll sit in their zone defense. They almost have to with the amount of time that they've been playing on defense. But to go from an area of team strength to now an Achilles heel in your playoff game, in the biggest game in program history, has got to be causing major headaches on their sideline.
And for Joe Bresci, this is the formula. Play fast, make it chaotic. Wertheim in trouble. Wilson tries to load a high. Boy, that got somebody. I think got Wilson too.
It got Michael Farrell right in the chest.
Farrell 48
he is
red.
Okay. That is serious business.
He's their off-ball guy. Shot clock reset.
Time of possession really swayed towards the heels. Zone defense now for Richmond.
Petramala from long range. Vigu the save.
The clean saves will help your clearing percentage.
8 in red, Charlie Packard, a two-way player.
How easy was that? Clean saves dramatically help your clearing percentage. You're going to see that tonight with Duke. They struggled this year to clear. All of a sudden, Patrick Jameson starts making saves, and their clearing percentage has skyrocketed.
Quinn, how does Richmond get into some kind of offensive flow?
Well, Aiden O'Neill has been the catalyst behind the net, 5 in red, and a lot of it starts there. Merklinger has tried to win his matchup, and he's been unsuccessful. But Timo, they might have to go to the picking game if they can't win a matchup individually.
It's been more than 16 minutes since Richmond last took a shot. Here comes Creo. Defended by O'Berry. Top short stick D-Mitty for UNC. Over to the wing. Comes back to Creo. Now Merklinger.
Carolina really packed in.
Down the alley. Looking to shake Prohaska. Shot clock down to 10. Still no shot. Creo. Missed the cage. Too high. No. Gianfrancaro says He did not get a piece. The officials say he got a piece, and that is a shot clock reset.
Wow, I did not see that.
Now O'Neal defended well by Ashheim. Fresh 60 here for Richmond.
No separation by the Spider Dodgers. Look at this defense, just glued to their hips.
Picard, bounce shot offline. A shot on goal resets the shot clock. So if it hits the goalie or if it goes off the pipe, automatic shot clock reset to 60. O'Neal, tough angle. That one got a piece of the pipe. And Carolina ball, Ashheim closest to it where and when it went out. So Richmond got a few shots on that possession, but still without a goal almost 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Carolina's got to feel good about the way they're defending. Empty net.
Empty net, Gianfrancaro. That is a shot. And Matten had the backup, so Carolina retains possession.
Excellent observation by Gio, former Princeton goaltender. Look, this playoff situation, that's not new for him. Back-to-back years, Princeton has played in the NCAA tournament, first-round games. It's been a nice relationship between the veteran goalie with experience and the young defense here in Chapel Hill.
We will see Princeton and Towson next. That is game 2 of 4 on day 1 of 2 here in round 1. Duffy has the short stick. Gets topside. Did that go in?
They're saying yes.
It did. A 3-point first half for Owen Duffy, who entered the game in a 1-for-23 shooting slump.
You make the call at home. This ball is going to hit off the crossbar and then bounce into the net and kick out with backspin.
That's a goal.
That's a goal. It's a great call. Look at the official on the right side. He was in perfect position to make this call. Right there. You see him on the right side of your screen? That is textbook, man. What a great call by the official who puts himself in position to make the right call. He sees it, and Duffy gets credit.
They will review it. Matty Palem, the head official today.
Andrew Smith, Mike Kleeblatt, on the crew. We spoke to him before the game. You got 8 different crews across the country this weekend. Positioning, so critical for officials. Just put yourself in the right position to make the call, and he is where he needs to be, right on goal line extended. His vision is clear. There's no defenders or attackmen in the way, and he emphatically right away makes the call. There was no hesitation. You could see the Carolina teammate had the best view of it, and he knew it was in the net.
Yeah, Luke Macaluso was right there, 32.
So I'd be shocked if this goal came off the board.
The winner of North Carolina Richmond will get the Cornell Albany winner on Long Island next week. When you look at the first round matchups, obviously the most intriguing one, Sunday, noon Eastern, that's an ESPN2 game. Chris Cotter, Paul Carcaterra will be in Columbus. Notre Dame, the 2-time defending national champion, going on the road to play Ohio State, the Big Ten tournament champion. And a part of the reason teams 1 through 8 are seeded, and then geography in large part determines matchups. So the committee says your reward for winning the Big Ten is you get to go play Notre Dame. Now, the Buckeyes did beat the Irish earlier in the regular season.
Look, and they're going to have quite a home field advantage in Columbus, that small facility, that new, beautiful, but small facility.
Did you see the ticket prices for those
sold
games?
out. Like, if you got there early and racked up some tickets, you're going to make some serious money.
I think I saw standing room only tickets going for about $150 a pop.
And that number probably is going to increase before noon tomorrow. Cotter and Clark will be in Columbus for the rematch of the college football playoff final.
Well, they ended Jordan Faison season once. Ohio State will try to do it again. The goal counts, no surprise.
No surprise. So an efficient, patient Carolina offense, a great ride so far. Brady Wambach owning faceoffs, and Michael Gianfrancaro locked in between the pipes. That's the formula right now.
Joe Bresci talked about putting pressure on Vignew, who does not face a lot of shots. 19 shots for UNC, 8 on goal.
I think the ride stands out. It was good up in the Dome when they beat Syracuse. They had 8 ride backs that forced 4 goals, and it's good again today. When they're in their ride, their length and speed just makes the field feel small and cramped. It's like it's like an 11-man ride, like they got an extra guy somehow.
It's been a weapon. Teams on the season only clearing at 80% against UNC. There's Andrew Price. Now Macaluso. Macaluso shooting low. Vignew with his 5th save.
Loved the move, but he telegraphed the shot, and Vignew was all over that. There was no deception. Got to tell you, I'm impressed with Carolina, though. Going to the bench early in a playoff game with the 4-goal lead. I like that a lot, Anish. Get guys off the bench in the game. Get them a sense. It's a hot day. May's going to be hot the rest of this tournament. You need to play people.
That was their 3rd midfield out there. Egan, Price, and Macaluso. Richmond still looking for its 1st goal.
They're going to have to go to the pick game if they're going to win matchups, because they're just struggling to run by the guys in the white jerseys.
Lucas Olson, 24 in red, from Calgary, Alberta. Now Sheridan, one of their top Dodgers. Merklinger from X. There's Packard, 2-way midi, gets to the middle, feeds inside. O'Neal had nowhere to go, has to retreat.
Good collapse.
Little John, their top goal scorer. Now Merklinger, defended well.
They got Price, 18 in white, caught on defense. They should.
Shot clock at 8. Olsen gets free, fires, that hit the pipe. Shot clock reset. O'Neal, the backup. Fresh 60 for the Spiders. And a timeout by Joe Bresci. UNC pitching a first half shutout. Game 1 of round 1 here in Chapel Hill.
And to have that high shooting percentage, and so far he's been really efficient, really clean with the ball, and Carolina is operating at a level that is sufficient to beat Richmond.
Duffy, a Long Island native, a chance to go home for the quarterfinals with a win. Sheridan, defended by Paul Barton. Dad Harris played offensive line at UNC, won 3 Super Bowls with the 49ers. Now Merklinger, there's a skip pass. Rio couldn't quite catch it flush. Now Olsen. Richmond has not really won a matchup in the 6-on-6. Barton all over Merklinger. Creo, his shot. Gianfrancaro right there. He is 5 for 5. Up ahead to Barton, a threat in transition, 11 career goals. Richmond able to win it back. Dunham on the counter.
No numbers.
Let's see if Richmond pushes. O'Neal. In the past, Dan Shamati's teams have played a slower pace.
Today might not be the day for that, Anish. I got to tell you, the way this offense looks against Carolina's settled defense, today may be the day that actually Richmond needs transition.
Well, what I was going to say, Quint, was this season, though, Richmond in spurts, off faceoffs, off turnovers.
They're not winning faceoffs.
They've been able to go quickly and strike quickly. Just haven't had those opportunities much today. Alpaw, volume shooter, 13 in red. Merklinger again. A-10 midfielder of the year. There's the slide. Comes back to X. O'Neal has Aschheim hung up. Now Aschheim comes back. Picks up O'Neal. Boy, O'Neal has had very little space to operate. There's Picard. Merklinger on the invert. Spun back to his right, loses the angle, skip pass to the crease of Beauty, and Littlejohn gets Richmond on the board.
Spiders finally finally break the ice. A long extended possession, a wing dodge by Merklinger. Watch a double team, goes right there, goes halfway. Backside's open, they jam it to Lucas Littlejohn, and he breaks the seal, finally getting the ball past Gianfrancaro on the ball movement. Your goalie's got to come to the near post there. When you feed the far post, there's really nothing that Gio could do. But I think if you're Richmond, I'm thinking wing dodges, and I'm thinking maybe some more invert offense. That is, attack from behind.
New face-off man for Richmond, Anthony DeCenzo. And Wambach jumped, so Richmond ball. Quinn, given the high degree of difficulty in that pass, if you're Carolina, there's got to be a part of you saying, we'd like to see you keep doing that.
Well, I mean, Richmond's averaging nearly 14 goals a game. Keep in mind, this team scored big-time goal, 11 against Cornell this season, 13 against Virginia, 12 against Duke, 13 against Georgetown. So this is a little bit of an out-of-body experience for them at this point.
What do you attribute that to?
The playoffs. Like, you win your league championship, and there's going to be an emotional outburst. You then have to step up a level in the NCAA tournament, as they are right now against an ACC power, and go on the road. So things are stacked. The cards are stacked against these AQs.
Gianfrancaro with a big save. Littlejohn had another good look.
His best save of the game.
He is 6 out of 7.
Gio comes into this game on a little bit of a slump lately. Last 4 games, he's been about 40%. But that's when you turn to the experience.
Duffy against Hunter Smith. Now picked up by Connor Kelly.
The mindset as a goalie when you're in a slump is that the next save is going to trigger a shutout. That the next save starts this wonderful streak of where you don't give up any goals.
Archbarger sizes up Ryan Thompson, using that speed on a bounce to Duffy. Duffy looking for the cutter. Still plenty of time on the shot clock.
And Carolina's still working the sub portion. They got a break out of the box here.
English coming out of the box. Instead, Petramala holds. 15 to shoot. Petramala has the short stick. Looking to get to that left hand. He does. Thompson got a piece of it.
Good trail check.
Nine to shoot. Duffy looking for Petramala. And now they're going to have to dump this in the corner. And that was awfully close to a delay of game. Got to be careful sometimes when that shot clock is winding down.
Yeah, that matters. The Richmond bench wants the delay call. And if, in fact, they're respotting the ball in front of the Richmond bench, then it should be a delay call. If they're spotting the ball on the near side where he threw it, then it's not a delay. I don't understand how they're making this call. Are they saying that wasn't a delay of game call and spotting it from where Dom threw the ball?
Because what you're essentially saying is the shot clock violation occurred there. You would get the quick restart there, and Petramala had already thrown the ball out.
He airmailed the ball to different parts of campus.
Every ride feels adventurous. Now the silver lining here for Dan Shamati is, as sloppy as Richmond has been, you score a goal here, it's only 4-2. Carolina had a game with this cadence in April against Notre Dame. They shut out Notre Dame for most of the first half, led 4-1 at the break, and then the Irish scored 11 goals in the second half, ended up winning that game 12-6. Another save for Gianfrancaro, who's been solid in goal for UNC.
Carolina's got some offensive personnel for Richmond caught on the field.
Alpaugh 13 in red. Wilson comes out of the box. Matched by Packard. Wilson swims underneath, backpedals. Wertheim, Duffy, load high. 4 points in the opening half for Owen Duffy, who's starting to look like the Owen Duffy we know.
Maybe his dodging will be a little compromised today with that bad knee, but his shooting certainly isn't. Wertheim puts this right on the spot. And what makes this shot so tough, it's in the stick, one cradle, and then it's in the back of the net. It looked like Vigu may have gotten just a tiny piece of that off the top of his goalie stick. But Duffy, from catch to release in a blink of an eye, does not give the goalie much time to find that ball in the pocket, off the lip, and in the air.
Duffy, 2 goals, 2 assists. Colin Hannigan took that faceoff for North Carolina because Wambach violated on the previous one. Richmond able to win possession. Ermeklinger scored a goal in 5 straight.
Richmond head coach Dan Chamati and offensive coordinator Colin McGuire, who helps him out. They're looking for answers.
Creo got free and scores. He had a pair of 2-goal games in the A-10 tournament. He's now scored in 7 straight, and it's 5-2.
It's the first time Richmond's really been able to beat him off the dodge. Watch why is the double team slow? Richmond, out of a 1-4-1 set, they've got 2 crease guys, and you know they're going to be slow to leave 27. But I'm just not sure why they didn't bump up from one of those interior spots. Instead, it's Barton, 24, who comes from the wing, and that gives Creo all sorts of time. The sophomore from Rockville Center, Long Island, known for his powerful shot. He may be a little undersized at 5'8", but, man, he can blast it.
When we spoke to Richmond goalie Zach Vigu, he said Creo, in Vigu's estimation, had the hardest shot on this Richmond team.
Guarantee when Carolina defensive coordinator Dave Petramala breaks that goal down at halftime, it'll come down to poor communication defensively.
There's Wilson. Shoots from the outside. It's going to be Richmond ball. Remember, it's who's closest when the ball goes out of bounds and where, and that may have gotten there after Vigu.
9.5-man ride. Gianfrancaro, now it's a 10-man. Gianfrancaro's out of the net about 15 yards.
Vigu with a mangonel pass to Merklinger. Tiptoeing the sideline. Thompson. A minute to play. Richmond looking to close to within 2. Carolina led 4-0. Get the sense, Quint, the Spiders are finding their feet here.
Finding their identity. That's a key for all playoff teams this year. You know, there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of pressure. You got to play your game. Stick to who you are, what got you here. Find your identity.
Creo had the last goal. Guarded by Hagerup. Sheridan against Koopman.
Man-to-man defense with a kind of a quick adjacent double team from Carolina.
25 seconds. Creo again. O'Neal, top scorer, A-10 Offensive Player of the Year. Asheim's defended him well. Here's the skip. Sheridan. 6 seconds. That pass picked off. Asheim flips it upfield, right back to Vigu. And that's how the